Off-peak training has two primary goals in our mission to deliver excellence in our exam preparation courses. First, ensure that students are sufficiently prepared to take and pass their certification exam. Secondly, ensure that students learn terms, techniques, and skills that are transferable to enhance job performance and help standardize communication among teams. To help reach these goals, off-peak training provides easy-to-use and understand course materials, creates interactive exercises to engage students, and evaluates progress through test questions. Many materials published by the Project Management Institute follow the 49 project management processes introduced and described by the Guide to the Project Management Body of Knowledge, also known as the PMBOK Guide. These processes are logically organized into 5 process groups, which represent the high-level functions project managers perform throughout the project lifecycle. The PMBOK Guide, currently in its 6th edition, can be considered a primary reference material for this course. Processes within the same process group often share similar characteristics, such as inputs, outputs, and patterns in how they interact with processes from other groups. Understanding these patterns will help you better understand the purpose of each process and better navigate the body of knowledge. Additionally, many exam questions will become easier by having a strong understanding of the process you are in and the processes that will commonly follow. To help understand the process groups that each process belongs to and more easily recognize patterns in their interactions, off-peak training uses colors to represent the processes and process outputs. The first process group is project initiating. There are just 2 processes in this group, which will help to establish the project, its objectives, and prepare for planning. All initiating processes will be represented using the color blue. The next process group is project planning. Project planning contains more processes than any other process group and will contain many tools and techniques and outputs found on the exam. All planning processes will be represented using the color orange. The project execution process group contains processes that do the work outlined by the project planning documents. All executing processes will be represented using the color green. The monitoring and controlling process group contains processes that measure and report the performance of the project and its deliverables and control changes to approved plans. All monitoring and controlling processes will be represented using the color purple. Lastly, the closing process group contains a process that ensures the proper completion of agreements, project phases, and the project as a whole. The closing process will be represented using the color red. All off-peak training project management courses that are aligned with the PMBOK Guide will follow this color scheme. Not many people will say that preparing for the PMP exam is easy. However, with the right approach, PMP certification is a very attainable goal. There are 4 primary learning objectives and skills that are important to successfully pass the PMP exam. First is learning the vocabulary. The glossary of the PMBOK Guide is over 40 pages, including hundreds of project management terms. While a lot of these should already be familiar to you, many will be new or have a slightly different definition than you are currently familiar with. The off-peak training presentations will help expose you to a lot of the vocabulary, along with quizzes, flashcards, and other learning games. The second learning objective is to understand the many pieces of the project management framework. This includes knowing the 49 project management processes. A spreadsheet is attached for you to print a completed table of the 49 processes, along with an empty table to practice writing them out yourself. Recreating this chart prior to your exam will help you better navigate the exam. You will also be expected to understand which process the various inputs, tools, and techniques and outputs are associated with. This is made easier by understanding the definition of each component and understanding why it would or wouldn't be used in a process. The next learning objective is to understand how the pieces of the project management framework relate to each other. This requires a strong understanding of the vocabulary and an understanding of each project management process. Putting the pieces together entails understanding how the outputs of a process become the inputs to another process. Off-peak training uses colorful graphics to help you visualize these relationships. The final learning objective is to be able to apply your understanding of the project management framework to real-world scenarios. This can be done by taking off-peak training's practice quizzes and a full mock exam. Since these learning objectives are progressive, less experienced project managers may need to take a few passes through the course, first focusing on vocabulary and understanding the components of project management in their first pass, then understanding the relationships between processes and solving project management scenarios in their second pass. More experienced project managers may be able to accomplish all of these learning objectives as they progress through the training session.